Shalom. Call all y'all Bashim Shai by Shimmer Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone that taught us his truth and rule well, and to the men that taught them. Peace and blessings to the elect, the nation of Israel, and that begins with the 144,000 who are the prophets today. Also the great multitude of men, women, and children the Heavenly Father is going to have mercy on. And you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we are the true Hebrew Israelites. And that's basically according to the Holy Scriptures, you know what I'm saying, of the Bible. You know, come on another lesson, your brother Dawada. And this lesson will be entitled, How Do We Know That We Are Israelites? You know what I'm saying? You know, and let's go to that first scripture, Romans 8 and 16, you know. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? So we know, you know what I'm saying? You know, we don't judge according to the flesh, you know what I'm saying, if you are Israelite, but it's based on the spirit, you know what I'm saying? So it's not based on the look, you know. And we know if you like Isaiah 8 and 20, you know what I'm saying? You know, if there's no light in you, you know, you can't understand, you know, these scriptures, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically what let you know based on, you know, if you bring this truth out, you know, you can tell if that person, you know what I'm saying, is Israelite based on, you know what I'm saying, it said try the spirit by the spirit. You know, that's what the scripture says. So you'll know based on, you know, when you see Israelite, because you'll be able to tell by their mannerism. You know, there's certain certain things that will stick out about that person, you know what I'm saying, that you will know that's a child of the Most High, you know what I'm saying, and that's why we are the salt of the earth, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, and you're going to be able to tell by that walk, you know, that person got that flavor, by how they talk, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be able to tell that that's an Israelite. So we can pick up on the things that sticks out, you know what I'm saying, you know, because, you know, what Jake is the form of all things. Let's get that, you know, Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 16, you know. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 16, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord Yahweh Shema Shai of hosts is his name. Yeah, so you see, you know what I'm saying? Just like that song, you know, Kendrick Lamar. They're not like us, you know what I'm saying? You know? And ain't nobody like, you know, Yasharallah, Prince of Power, Israel, children of Israel, you know what I'm saying? You know? But they wanna be like us though, you know what I'm saying? These other nations, you know what I'm saying? Because pretty much everything we do, you know what I'm saying, the other nations, what they do, they try to imitate us. They try to bite off it, you know? If it got something to do with the clothes we rock, you know what I'm saying, how we carry ourselves, from, you know, how we dance, you know what I'm saying, you know, but whatever we do, you know what I'm saying, you know, pretty much Jake dominates in sports, you know what I'm saying, you know, and what's that, what's that movie, He Got Game, Gigi Shuttleworth, you know what I'm saying, you know, so we're more talented than anything we do, singing, inventions, you know what I'm saying, you name it, you know what I'm saying, we the salt of the earth, you know what I'm saying. That's where Esau makes most of his money off. That's why if we just come out of all this stuff, man, like out of the sports, stop playing that, you know, the music industry, shit, the list go on, not making inventions, man, this place will go down, man. Because we, the one, keep this place going, you know what I'm saying? You know? And like this scripture say, you know what I'm saying? The Spirit bear witness that we are the children of the Most High, you know? You know? And when you know, when that person is an Israelite, because the Spirit will resonate with this truth, you know what I'm saying, with no problem, you know. And there's certain scriptures you can bring out and you can question Jacob, Eve, and they'll be able to, bear witness. You know what I'm saying? They'll be able to know that, hey, yeah, that's talking about us. So that's how we know, through the prophecies, you know what I'm saying? Through the curses that we are the people of the Bible. Let's go to Daniel chapter 9, verse 10. Because, how can someone say, how these people, these smart head, can say they're the people of the Bible, or just so-called white people, they're the people of the Bible, but they can't even stand in the sun. You know what I'm saying? Over there, in Israel, shit, they got the number one highest case of skin cancer. So that doesn't even make any sense. You know what I'm saying? We know the truth, and now the truth is out here, and now the elected 1/3 is waking up to the truth. Let's go to Daniel chapter 9, verse 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, our power to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Neither for the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the laws of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And this is pretty much after the time of Moses. Daniel is seeing the time, way after Moses. You know what I'm saying? This curse had been poured upon us. You know what I'm saying? And this is another, way you can distinguish that we are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, you know what I'm saying? By the curses, in Deuteronomy, you know what I'm saying? And these curses has been upon us, you know what I'm saying, since we came over here, you know what I'm saying? Since we have been disobedient to Yahweh Shema Shah, he put curses on us, you know? And let's go to some of them. Let's read them in Deuteronomy 28. You know what I mean? So, because no other nation, had a yoke put upon them. You know what I'm saying? But Israel, Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, 28 verse 15. But it should come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, thy power to observe to do all his commandments, and the statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses should come upon thee and overtake thee. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And when you read all the verses from Deuteronomy, you know what I'm saying, pretty much starting right there, basically the next verse, 16 on down to 68, it gives you a description, you know what I'm saying? It's basically fitting a group of people, man, which are Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? No other nation, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you can tell that we are the Hebrew Israelites, you know what I'm saying? Because we fit the curses, we fit the prophecies, you know what I'm saying? Let's jump down to another indicator, you know what I'm saying? Verse 45. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. And moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, thy power to keep his commandments and the statutes which he hath commanded thee. Yeah. So, like I say again, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, until thou be destroyed. Yeah. And as a people, man, we've been destroyed. Hosea chapter 4 and 6, we've been destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's a mindset, It's a mindset, you know what I'm saying, that our people have been destroyed, you know what I'm saying? Our people, is still so attached to this place, you know what I'm saying? Well, we the last hired, first fired, you know what I'm saying? Steady killing each other through, Esau, witchcraft, our men becoming rappers, and then he telling them what to say, bitches, hoes, and all this. Kill this, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know, just pushing all that negativity vibe onto our people. And what our people do, our people just going on and do what Esau says do. And then they, just killing each other, you know what I'm saying? Selling drugs to our own people, you know what I'm saying? One of the biggest things is our women, you know what I'm saying, number one in doing abortions, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much these curses, and that's how you could tell that we are the people of the Bible, because we fit, you know, we fit the curses. We line up with this Bible, you know what I'm saying? This is our history, verse 46. And they should be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And let's look up that word sign. Let's look that word up in the meaning of it. Sign. Let me go to the Hebrew. Slocky. Let's go down to 46. Where we at? For a sign. So it's H226, and it's Arath, which is outline biblical, is a sign, a distinguished mark, banner, remembrance, miraculous sign, omen, warning, token, e-sign, standard, miracle, proof. But like I say here, it says distinguished mark. And right here, from Deuteronomy 28 down to 16, this is a distinguished mark. That banner, that sign, that's letting you know that we, fit the description of what this truth is speaking about. You know what I'm saying? It's speaking about our people. You know what I'm saying? Just like if a farmer has, different types of animals, he's gonna brand those animals. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna put a mark on them, and that's what Yahweh Shema Shai done with us. We are the true people. We fit these curses in Deuteronomy. You know what I'm saying? No one else does. But our people been so messed up in the mind and been destroyed because we have fell in this deep sleep. You know what I'm saying? Those dry bones. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 37. And that's why now we don't have a slightest clue what's going on, because we just been lost. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1. The hand of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord Yahweh, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass them around about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley and low. They were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai power, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Thus said the Lord of hosts of power unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye should live. And in verse 6, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring upon the flesh and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with the skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Yeah, and those dry bones is pretty much, those dry bones, the majority in Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? Where we Israelites are predominantly. You know what I'm saying? And that's why most of these other nations, pretty much, they follow what Jake does, you know what I'm saying? We are the chosen people, you know what I'm saying? Whatever we do, they imitate because they want to be like Jake, you know what I'm saying? But they don't want to go through the things like Jake, you know what I'm saying? They want to be like us, you know what I'm saying? But they can't, you know? But that's why we say these dry bones is Israel, you know what I'm saying? But now the remnant is waking up, the elect in the 1/3. You know what I'm saying? Like in that verse said that the what is it? Verse it says the skin is coming. You know what I'm saying? Who is it? Let me see. Yeah, right here, verse 6. And I will lay sinews up on you, and will bring up on the flesh up on you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you. Yeah. And this truth has put breath in us, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know what I'm saying? And that's speaking of the true Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Now, those dry bones have life. You know what I'm saying? But there's still remnant. There's still 2/3 of our people are still asleep, those dry bones. But that's why the other nations are trying to, be like us. But that's why I say, you know what I'm saying, the title of this video, how do we know we're Israelites? Because what I just read, you know what I'm saying, even with Deuteronomy chapter 28, let's go to that and I'm going to close out. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. That gives you an indicator that's speaking of Jake and Eve, you know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes should be evil toward his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children which he should leave. Yeah. So that's basically giving you a black on black crime, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much what is it, domestic violence, with our women and everything. So, and don't know other nation, man. If you step on a brother's shoe, man, he wanna fight you or kill you, you know what I'm saying? They don't do that. So we fit the descriptions, man. We fit the description of, the Hebrew Israelites. They're speaking of us. You know what I'm saying? This is our history book. So, so that's how we could tell that we are, you know what I'm saying? How do we know we are the Israelites? That's how we could tell. Through the Spirit, like Romans 8 and 16 said. You know what I'm saying? Let's read that and then I'm going to end on it. Romans 8 and 16, the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So bam, there you have it. Through the curses and through the prophecies. So I want to say Shalom, hope that was edifying. This is your brother Dawadah. I'm going to say, call Allah Yahweh Shem Al Shai by Shemar Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone that ruled well, that taught us this 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim on the four corners of the earth, risking their lives on highways and the byways each and every week. And to the brothers and sisters tuning in for edification. Shalom.